What's up, everyone? I had Lehdis Lopez on the podcast earlier, and she talked to me about how she changed her diet and how that helped her gut health. She had no more inflammation and no more pain in her gut after changing her diet. And she, in the past, was taking prescription drugs to do this, and she knew that this was a chronic thing that needed to be fixed by changing her lifestyle and her diet, similar to my experiences. So she talks to me about the process in changing her diet and some of the things that she looks out for when she's, for example, going to the grocery store. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. And if you do, hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on my channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when I post new videos like this. And I hope you guys enjoy the conversation.
Okay.
How is it going?
It's going well. How are you?
Doing good. How's Austin feeling?
He's a lot better. So the day that we had to reschedule, actually, I had to bring him to the ER.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was pretty scary. Like I said, like severe migraines, along with blurred vision. And then it just happened again. So I'm like, you know what? I just got to bring him because I don't know. You never
didn't
know
have
what
COVID?
it could be.
You didn't have COVID?
He had it when I had it. I don't know if it's like the post long hauler, aftermath. I really don't know.
Huh. All right. Well, is he feeling better?
Yeah, he's feeling better.
That's good.
Yeah.
Tell Austin I said I'm glad he's feeling better.
I certainly will. How's my girl Amanda and Margot?
They're doing good. Margot is taking a little nap upstairs. Amanda said she might stop by. So who knows?
Yay!
Amanda might have a guest appearance at any moment. No idea when.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, maybe Margot too, but Margot's sleeping right now.
Okay.
So how's life? I just saw you like 2 or 3 weeks ago. How's it going? Can't assume much has changed, but how you doing?
Same stuff. Can I curse on here?
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Oh gosh, okay. Everything is good, Yeah, we saw each other at Carson's birthday, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Just busy, work is picking up and just trying to balance everything.
Yeah. So, the reason I have you on, but no one else does. So the reason I have you on is if you've seen any of my recent podcasts, you know that I'm very enthusiastic when it comes to your diet. And that just recently happened to me because of an experience where I changed my diet and just felt completely different with heartburn. So I was telling you this, I think you already know it, but changed my diet after I read a beautiful book, changed my diet, and now I have no heartburn. So I went from multiple doctor's visits throughout like a 10-year period, trying to figure out what the hell to do to reduce my heartburn, only thinking purely of the pain. Like, this is painful, can't deal with it anymore. I'm not thinking of long-term effects of this could lead to esophagus cancer until I read the book recently. But so I was purely thinking of pain. Took Prilosec. I took stronger Prilosec from doctors' prescriptions. Tums. If you've seen my video, you could take 100 Tums and it's really not going to do anything with the kind of heartburn I had. So I've had 10 years of just dealing with all this bullshit. And then I read a book and it changed my life. So completely cut out all the crap that I thought was just normal in our Western diet. We eat a lot of crap. So I thought it was normal. And so I went on this 28-day diet. I cut out coffee, soda, alcohol, pepper. I couldn't sprinkle pepper on my meat.
What?
Yeah. I had to, no high fructose corn syrup, which is in everything we eat. If you just look at the back package, there's a lot of shit in there. Chocolate, vinegar, no red meat. I cut out a lot for 28 days. First couple meals was tough to get through. Then I learned how to eventually get better at cooking through all that stuff. But after that 28 days, I had zero heartburn. never had to take a TUM, never felt like I needed to do any Prilosec, the 30-day Prilosec thing, or what, it's like 14 days, you do like one pill in the morning. And then I was like, what the hell have I been doing for 30 years of my life? I've been eating like complete shit, and then I complain when I have heartburn, but I'm doing it to myself. And so this is just one component of all the things that I talk about with self-development. But Amanda, who, if people don't know, that's my wife, is friends with Lehdis. And Amanda's like, well, Lehdis is doing the same thing. And it happened, I think, around the same time period. I think if not the same period, you were doing it a little bit before me. You completely, like, I just saw you 3 weeks ago at a party, and you were just like chugging down like, a water jug.
This?
Yeah.
Oh, it might have been
So,
pink, but yeah.
I think your reason is somewhat similar but slightly different of why you change your diet. But that's the reason for this. It's like, I'm a big believer now in diet can cure, maybe not cure, let's say
Heal.
mitigate, heal, prevent long-term illnesses. And maybe not all of them, I'm sure not all of them, but most of them. And so when you look at all these high rates of illnesses, and then you look at what the standard Western diet is, it's like, well, that's sort of expected once you know what's going on. So that's why I have you on here, because I think you know a little more than I do on this subject. I think you take it to the extreme, and I want to pick your brain. So I'll start off with this. What does your diet look like right now?
So for the most part, I keep, I actually just started introducing dairy. So why don't I tell you about when it all started back in March 2020 and I could.
Go ahead.
Cool?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay. So March 2020, I was having like severe upper abdominal pain, like a very weird tenderness. It was weird. I never felt it before.
Not heartburn, though. It's not heartburn.
No. But I did have like my throat was very sore. So I had upper abdominal tenderness, pain, and then a sore throat.
And you've never had that before. You've never had that before.
Never in my life. And obviously that's when COVID broke out. I'm like, what the heck could this be? I was so confused, and I went to my primary care, did my normal blood work, everything comes back fine. I went to urgent care. They sent me to go get a sonogram over at Zwanger-Pesiri, and that came back fine. So, all these tests were coming back fine, and I'm just like, something's not right. You know what I mean? Like, I know my body, this is not normal for me. So I decided
How long did the pain persist for?
From March 2020, it persisted for like, I would say maybe like 3 weeks. And then I continued as is. I continued doing my normal drinking wine every day, doing whatever I eat. I love pizza. I love tacos. Like, I never restricted myself. And then, I guess just about maybe 6 months ago, it came back again. And I'm like, okay, so this is very abnormal. My in-laws had went to a nutritionist out in Staten Island. Her name is Dr. May, where she basically evaluated them and told them that you need to stay away from these ingredients and you'll feel better. And that's exactly what they did. And I'm like, this is so good.
Who is this? Who are your in-laws?
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yes, my in-laws. Yep. So they went to her. They changed my father-in-law's life. He suffered from a lot of ailments, and as soon as he went to her, he changed the diet. He lost a ton of weight, and he felt great. And I'm like, you know what? I wasn't ready to pull the trigger, but I knew I had to. I'm like, this is not right. So I need to figure out a way where I need to figure out another way. Really simple as that. So I went to her for an evaluation, and it's a very weird evaluation. Basically, you like lay there and she has little tubies of like ingredients that she's putting towards different parts of your body. And I'm laying there and I have my left hand up, and basically every ingredient that she put towards the body, if my hand is resisting her, because her hand is here, that means that ingredient is not good for my body.
What do you mean putting towards your body? Like
literally, like
just
ingredient. It's honest. I thought it was like witchcraft. I'm like, what the hell is this? This isn't even. I never heard about this before in my life. But you know what? I took a chance, and it's the way she explained it was like your body is like electromagnetic. It's going to resist the things that are bad for you, and that's the way that she practices. Very holistic. And
interesting.
so the 5 ingredients she told me to stay away from were soy, dairy, gluten, corn, and eggs. And I'm like, so what the fuck am I gonna eat? I eat eggs every single morning. I never looked if there was soy in anything that I ate. You know, there was definitely times where I tried to go vegan when you know, if I could, you know, do it. Corn, you know, I know it's not great for your digestion, but I never stood away from it. So basically, I did it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to just remove these things from my diet and I'm going to see if I feel better.
That list never expanded because I feel like there could be more that you could take off that list that you can add to the list. No. Okay.
Like to stay away from, you're saying?
Yeah. For example, high fructose corn syrup.
Well, I hear corn. I stay away from that already. So.
All right.
Yeah. So I don't even look that way. No. Oh, and I forgot a big part. So basically I went to a gastroenterologist and they diagnosed me with chronic gastritis. They did the endoscopy, the camera down your throat, and in your stomach. And that's what they diagnosed me with. And I was taking for a month, omeprazole every morning and famotidine at night. And
I had the same exact thing as you. I went to and I did my endoscopy. Thing down my esophagus, and then that's exactly what they prescribed me. Very similar experience.
Yeah. So that's a big chunk that I totally missed. Like that's after that, I kind of just realized I'm like, I am 30 years old. I'm not going to take these pills each and every single day. And then after is when I went to Dr. May, the nutritionist, the holistic nutritionist, to tell me what I should leave out of my diet. And when I tell you, Chris, within like a week, I changed my diet. I dropped the pills. I wasn't taking the pills anymore. I felt better instantly.
How long did it take for you to say, I'm not taking these pills anymore? Like, were you on them for a month? And then you said?
Just about a month, maybe a month and a half. And I was like, I'm not going to do this. It's not going to, I'm a young girl. Like, there's no way with my lifestyle. I'm active. I need to change my diet. I knew that was my next step. So I went to her and I literally changed my diet and I stopped taking them. I did.
Now, what about the water though? You seem to drink a ton of water, but that was something separate from what she said.
I mean, I drink a lot of water to begin with, you know, because I kickbox and stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. I work out, you know, a lot. I mean, I don't kickbox as much as I used to. I mean, during that time, I'd be at kickboxing like 5 to 6 times a week. So my water intake has always been very high. But my diet was always shitty. I'm like, I could get away with it. I'm a petite girl. I work out, but you know, it really wasn't the right way to treat my body, you know?
Not at all. And that's why when you're young, you feel invincible. It's like as soon as you hit like 30, it's like,
oh shit.
It's like, okay, now let me just see what's going on here. When you're younger, you could eat like crap and it's fine, but I still think that has longer term. That's the issue. It's like you feel fine because you're younger and everything, you feel invincible, but you're still putting crap in your body. And I can't imagine that's good for you, even though you don't necessarily feel it. Well, I guess for me, right, I've had heartburn since I was in high school. So I guess that pain wasn't a good thing. I'm just so happy and lucky that I found out that it's because of my diet, like excessive alcohol, fast food, not a lot, but every once in a while, high fructose corn, coffee, soda,
processed foods.
If I looked at my stomach, I'm building an atomic bomb. Of course, like something's going wrong with my body. Yeah. What scared me the most was in the book that I read. Like if you have heartburn for a long time, 10 plus years like I did, you could get Barrett's disease. Barrett's, I think it's called. I could be saying that wrong. Barrett's disease. And then once you have Barrett's disease, you have a 30 to 125 times more likelihood to develop esophagus cancer. I saw that and I was like, oh shit, nope,
Cool.
not happening. And I changed. So I'm lucky that I just happened to like look at that. I can't imagine. It was very painful. Can't imagine having that for another 5-10 years, that anything was going to happen good down there. Mm-hmm. So that's why I love reading. Gotta stay up to date on that shit. So what does your diet look like right now? Like, what are you eating?
So, I was inspired by this chick off of Instagram. Her name is Tara Cooper. And her handle is Wildly Primal. And she basically promotes services she's like a holistic health coach that helps you heal your gut. I never hired her to be that for me, but I basically just take all the free content she puts out on Instagram.
Yeah.
She promotes eating, obviously, unprocessed foods. Eating a lot of meat actually.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So now when we go to Whole Foods, it's steak, grass-fed organic steak. I get salmon, and then organic chicken. That's something we always have in the house. That's what we cook for the week. And then always a vegetable. It's a broccoli, it's asparagus. And then, we'll have rice and potatoes from time to time. But I try to keep it, for the most part, very unprocessed. That's not to say when I walk down the frozen, food aisle, I'm not getting an almond flour pizza, because sometimes I just want some frozen freaking pizza. I like pizza. But I go for organic stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I try to stay unprocessed for as much as I can. It gets a little tricky when going out to eat and stuff, but like, since I had gut issues, I enjoy being home and cooking my food, because I know what I'm putting in my food. And I know I'm not going to have a flare up or a pain the next day, or, you know what I mean? And be in agony, because when I tell you it was so painful, it wasn't worth it. That's what really was the wake up call for me. I'm like, this pain is not worth it. I need to do something.
1 to 10, how painful was it?
The tenderness, 8.
8.
And then, I would say 8. Yeah, I would
8
say
for 2 weeks. You had 8 pain for 2 weeks straight. That's tough.
And then I had a headache along with it too. And like an idiot, I sat there, drank my wine every day, thinking, oh well, if I'm gonna be in pain, I might as well drink. Like, what am I thinking? Like, literally, what am I thinking?
So can you drink any alcohol?
I can. So the nutritionist cleared me for straight tequila. Just because it's she told me to stay away from carbonation. So like the White Claws, goodbye. She told me to stay away from Tito's. She said that Tito's vodka has corn in it. It's gluten-free, but there's corn in there. So I stayed away from that. And then my father-in-law drank tequila. And I'm like, well, his restrictions are very similar to mine. So I asked her, and she said, yeah, because it comes from the agave plant. It's considered gluten-free, all natural. So I'll have that on the rocks if I have a drink.
I might have to try that.
Listen, I'm happy I discovered that later on in life, because I mean, if I were to start doing that early on in life, I mean, who knows where I'd be. It's so good. They'll go so smooth. You have to find some, like, a good one. Like Don Julio and Yeho, we drink, and Casamigos. It's very like smooth.
Don Julio.
Yeah.
I will have to get at the program that I was on. It was 28 days. It was called the healing phase. So healing phase for 28 days. Healing phase meant that my esophagus was inflamed, and a lot of things, almost anything I put down there, it has to like be very careful. Like anything that's even a little bit acidic could activate like stuff in the esophagus. There's like pepsin. It's acid that gets in your esophagus. It's called like pepsin, and then if any acidic food goes down, it stays in your esophagus and activates. So you need 28 days to just completely flush it out and get no inflammation. Get rid of the inflammation. And then in the after the healing phase, I think it's called, what the hell is it called? There's a phase after the healing phase. I can't remember the name of it, but the author recommended potato-based and corn-based vodka. Like similar to what you're doing with, if you're going to do it on the rocks, don't do anything like. That's why I'm like, what the heck? Maybe you guys were wrong.
Corn and potato based, yeah.
Yeah.
So they encourage you to do that on the rocks?
Yes, but I haven't tried it yet. So I'm going to try tequila. Tequila gets you in a little party atmosphere, so maybe I'll try a little tequila.
Yeah, you should. Just a little bit on the rocks, and even just like a little water, you know. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention. Wildly Primal, the girl that I follow, and you know, I take just all her free tips that she shares. She promotes, like, she talks a lot about magnesium, how it's super good for you. You know, she encouraged you to drink certain types of water. I'm still doing my research on the type of water I should be drinking. Right now, we just get the tank from BJ's. It's considered just purified water. She recommends spring water and like water that has magnesium in it. Basically, that's the best way that we're really going to hydrate our body, is the way that she portrays it. Because I could be drinking all this water throughout the day, but if it's bad water, like, I could just be flushing out my own good nutrients in my body, and that's not good for anyone, right? And she also, like, just says that, like, Western medicine just has shit ass backwards. Like, in regards to gastritis, like inflammation of the stomach or heartburn, like you have too much acid buildup. She actually says it's like the exact opposite. She's like, it's not that you have too much acid. You might not have enough acid, which is why you should be eating meats. You should be eating eggs to develop that acid so that you can have like a well-functioning, well-oiled body. You know what I mean? So I encourage you to follow her and just see what she has to say. Because I have to say, like, a lot of her recommendations have helped me. They never hurt me. You
What's
know
her name?
I mean?
What's her name again?
Wildly Primal.
Wildly Primal.
Yeah. Her name is Tara Cooper. She's cool. She definitely posts like a lot of stuff. And honestly, I just snapshot all the stuff that she recommends and I save it to my pictures. And anytime I'm out and about and I'm like, oh, I'm like Whole Foods, like, oh, she recommended this, I'll grab it. I really trust what she has to say.
Well, so what water brand does she drink?
She drinks.
Like, is Poland Spring good? I just default to Poland Spring.
I mean, it's spring water. I think that comes up higher in the hierarchy versus like purified. I would have to bring up on my picture her mineral magnesium water that she recommends. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm interested to try. Oh, and a lot of things that I do just for, like, you know, just daily upkeep, like bone broth. I'll get bone broth. That's very healing, like, for your gut. And it tastes fucking good, too.
What do you, how do you make that? What do you do with it?
I don't make it. I buy it already made.
Oh.
All right. That's a lot of simmering on the freaking stove. I haven't had the guts to do that yet, but I'll get, like, what is it called? Kettle and Cook. I forgot the freaking brand. But even just, like, organic bone broth from Whole Foods, I'll buy. And I'll sip on that. That's very good for my gut. I felt like that was very helpful. Sauerkraut, since it's like fermented, apparently that's very healing for my gut. I swear to God, sometimes where I would have like a little bit of a flare up, I would have some sauerkraut and it would help. It literally would help.
Sauerkraut on like a hot dog, or
no, straight from the jar. Straight from the jar. Hot dog? You trying to kill me with the processed dog?
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
here's the goodness on top of the fucking shitty. But I have, you know, I definitely had a hot dog. I definitely had a hot dog at Carson's for sure.
Yeah.
But, you know, you have less control when you're out and about, which is why I was saying, like, I like to be home. I can control. And then, like, if I want to head out and see a friend, I'm like, all right, I'm going to eat at home. I'll see you later. You know what I mean?
Yeah. As long as, like, you're 80 to 90% of your diet is healthy, and then you allow a little bit. I don't think you can completely eliminate, like, you go to a party and there's hot dogs, like, and there's only hot dog. As long as 80 to 90% of the bulk of what you're eating is healthy for you, and it's not like the opposite, 80% crap, 20% good. As long as you switch that around, I feel like that's a good ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Have you over these last 6 months kept it 100% consistent, or have you had some like drop offs where you've ate too much crappy food at one point?
Fluctuations 100%.
Yeah.
But I would say the first 3 months when I changed my diet completely, I was very like consistent with that, because I'm like, I just want to get to a better time. Like I said, the pain wasn't worth it. I just want to feel good in my body. I don't want to have to worry about, oh, I ate something wrong. I'm going to be in my bed and like pain the next day.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I can get a little away with this, a little away with this. And actually currently, as I told you, eggs was eliminated from my diet when I went to the nutritionist, but now I have eggs. So the way that she talks about, removing these ingredients from your body, and then she tells you that your body's going to heal, you know what I mean, as you remove it from your body. And as your body heals, your body will be able to like eat those ingredients once again, but you got to get it to like a healing spot first. So yeah, I mean, I eat eggs for the most part almost every morning, and it doesn't bother me. So that's just like amazing to me, because I'm such a breakfast person.
I'm curious if this nutritionist who's doing like this, put your ingredient near somebody, I wonder if, yeah, like did your in-laws have the same exact prescription as far as foods to avoid?
No, my mother-in-law.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Everyone's body's different, right? So my mother-in-law, she couldn't eat gluten. She has to stay away from soy and dairy. I think those are really just the two from my mother-in-law. And then my father-in-law, he's definitely gluten-free, dairy-free. I don't think he's soy-free.
We have a guest visitor.
Yay! Who is it?
Hi, Margot girl.
Hi, Amanda and Margot. Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hi,
ladies.
little mama.
Margot,
What's
say
going
hello.
on? How was your nappy poo? Like, what's going on?
How you doing? She makes a visit every once in a while. If you ever noticed.
Yeah, sometimes she upchucks a little bit, but she's back. She upchucks and she's back.
The star of the show.
What a beauty.
What do you think, Margot? You gonna come back later?
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Text me later.
Will do.
When you watch this, you got to change your diet as well.
I'm on your diet anyway.
Yeah, you are on my diet, I guess.
Yeah, she did tell me about, some meals that you cooked there. It was a little different at first, but, maybe she acclimated at this point.
Oh, well, I think it was a combination of her being acclimated, but then me being better at it. The first meal that I cooked, it was the first day on this new diet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm staying away from red meat. The meal was turkey burgers. And so it was using ground turkey from grass-fed ground turkey. And I can't use any spices, so I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. So it was ground turkey.
Salt, pepper? Oh, no pepper.
No
right?
No salt. Well, maybe a little bit of salt, but I think I forgot the salt. I can't remember. It was like that. I mixed carrots. I pureed it. So that carrots. I think it was like another vegetable. I think it was fennel. So fennel's like you know what fennel? Okay. Fennel, and then like I dabbed the turkey burgers in breadcrumbs, but I can't remember. I think I used like almond breadcrumbs.
Okay.
And I cooked this thing. It was the most disgusting thing in the entire world. Amanda was like,
never again.
I got to deal with this for 28 days. And then I started to slightly get better. The first week was tough. The first day was a nightmare. But then the first week was a little tough. Then I got slightly better at it. Slightly understood like what ingredients I could put in. Like what really helped me out was there was a soy sauce replacement. I forget what it's called. There's a soy sauce.
Amino acids?
Yes. Amino something.
Amino. Oh, damn it.
It's something what you're saying. And so that was like the way that I added flavor to the turkey burger. So next time I cook the turkey burger, I put in some of the amino liquids. I forget what it's called, but it's like soy sauce replacement. And that got a little bit of taste in it. But, the first time I did it, of course, I overdid it. So then it was like a little too salty.
Yeah.
And so eventually got to a place where it's fine. Now we're okay. I think the one meal that she's still not super happy about is I do a pasta. So I do a pasta with whole wheat pasta. I do the onions and garlic. Oh, onions and garlic I couldn't eat either in this 28-day healing. But now I do onions and garlic, broccoli, mushrooms, and mix it into like this whole wheat pasta, broccoli pasta. And it's not her favorite, but it's healthy, so I like it.
Okay.
But have you ever been? So Trader Joe's, like you go to Whole Foods, but Trader Joe's has such good stuff. Like I think Whole Foods probably has this too, but their whole thing is like no preservatives, and so for the most part, I'm comfortable going in there. I try to only stick with whole foods, like things that I can envision being grown, like fruits, vegetables. If I'm doing meat, it has to be grass fed. And I limit as much as I can processed. If anything's in a box, I question it. But with Trader Joe's, I know that they're good with their ingredients, so I can every once in a while step outside and get something that's like in a box. Or we do like lasagna. It's pre-made lasagna, but it has no bad ingredients in it. You look at the ingredients for Trader Joe's, it's like, oh, things that I can read and I know what the hell they are.
Yeah.
If you go to Stop and Shop, it's like
700 ingredients. It's like
it's like a science experiment.
Yeah.
So that's what we've been doing. Trader Joe's is freaking amazing. I love Trader Joe's. And just recently, I asked you the question: did you get off how consistent you were? Because just recently, I started having a little too much coffee.
Okay.
I love coffee, so once I have coffee, it's like every day I need more coffee. So then I started feeling a little bit of heartburn. I was like, oh nope. Gotta turn this puppy down. I started having like a beer while I'm cooking and coffee in the morning, and then it started coming up again. But now I know how to like limit it, so I'm doing better now. But it's been like it's been fluctuating. But Amanda's taking the ride with me.
Yeah. Good.
First day was tough. I wish you saw her face on that first day. It was so funny.
Well, she would text me. I ain't gonna lie. She was like, "Oh, look at the concoction Chris made for me today." I'm like, "Oh shit." She was really trying to help you too. She's like, "Lehdis, what are you eating? Like, what are your snacks?" I would take pictures and send it to her. So, I was so excited to hear that, like, because she said that your acid reflux was bad ever since you guys been together. She said that you would be like hunched over in pain.
Yeah, I look at it
now.
I look back at it now. I'm like so stupid. Every single day, I eat a banana. Instantly, it's like I would cringe. I was like, oh.
Yeah, we're too young to be dealing with that. For sure.
I know, nightmare. What was for you? I'm trying to think what I would say here, but what was the most difficult part about completely changing your diet from what you used to eat to a completely new thing? Was it like a shock moment the first week of like, oh, all my taste buds are used to like, oh, this crap? How long did it take you to like get used to it? And what was the hardest part about it?
It was being so diligent with the labels, noticing that so many things have soy in it. It was not being able to have eggs. I'm like, this is, eggs is something I have every day. Like, and a lot of things that met all the criteria. For example, gluten-free, dairy-free, corn-free. It would have egg in it. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I felt like I really couldn't. It was hard to navigate at first. It really was. But the taste thing, it didn't bother me because I'll try anything. You know what I mean? Like, and then I got into my niches and like the stuff that we cook, like the salmon, the steak, and the chicken, that stuff that we have all the time. I feel like I make it taste good. We don't do anything special, but I feel like I'm nourishing my body too. It's like these foods are good for me, and it tastes good. It was definitely like the tedious part of the label reading and realizing that a lot of things have egg in it.
and soy, you said.
And soy, yes.
the hell is soy? Is just like what is soy?
It comes from a soybean. That's what I know. I mean, all I know is that soy, putting it in my body, was only contributing to the inflammation that I was having, the pain.
And so, like, I'm trying to figure out what the hell's in soy. Like, what would be like? Are we talking like these packaged like foods that you find like a Stop and Shop?
Like packaged food would have it. Like, I can't think right now. But also keep in mind, though, like at that time, I was just trying to find anything that fit the criteria. Now I'm more whole foods than anything, right? Because I wouldn't have to worry about soy if I'm just getting things that come from an animal or grow up from the ground or fruit. You know what I mean? So that transition, I think, too, just moving more towards like a whole food diet, too.
Have you tried anything that you used to have and like now look at it as it being disgusting? Here's where I'm coming from. I have a whole thing that I write about this in my book. It's like, if you stay around, I think I changed the wording a little bit, but if you stay around shit for too long, you start getting used to the smell of it. And so like I say, like, if you keep eating fast food in McDonald's every day, it's like normal to you. Mm-hmm. But then like once you have more home cooked meals that are actually healthy for you, and then you do that consistently for a month, and then you go back to a McDonald's, then you're like, oh, this is it's like a shock. It's like, this is what I was actually enjoying. Is there anything that you've tried that you're like, okay, can't believe I like this?
No, I won't. I haven't touched fast food in so long, just because it just grosses me out. And I just think about the pain that I have when I would, like, we order from this Greek spot around the corner, and I'll just order like grilled chicken over salad, no feta. And Austin will order this gyro that has like a side of fries on the side. And I had to start thinking about, oh, it's not the potato that's wrong. It's, it's the bag of frozen French fries that they're using that is super processed. But not only that, it's that they're frying it in corn oil. That one time set me over the edge. I just picked on the fries like one time. I was like, all right, I'm good. Second time, totally fine. The third time, I was in bed like crying with pain. It was the weirdest thing. It was like my body almost saying like, all right, you're healing a little bit. You can get away with these 2 times, but it's like, oh no, back up, bitch. You're not freaking healed yet. The third time I'm gonna get you. No, seriously. And I mean, to go to a fast food restaurant to have their French fries for what? Like, we do our air fryer French fries. They're delicious and they're homemade. I just won't chance something like that. So
how's Austin taking it with the new stuff? Does he like it?
With the diet?
Yeah, because I'm assuming he's also eating healthy too now, right?
Austin is the best. Austin is so easy. Once I changed my diet, I'm like gluten-free. He's like, well, now I'm gluten-free. I'm like, he just went with the wind. Yeah, he is so easy. I mean, he's always been very easy to feed. So, yeah, I mean, he was just like, all right, I'm going to be healthy too now. He was cool with it.
Do you have any go-to healthy snacks? Like I have a shake that I make that is unbelievable. And it's like, at first Amanda didn't like it. And I'd always talk shit about this with Amanda. She didn't like it at first, but now she loves it. But it's like, it fills you up, has protein in it, and it's like, could be almost like a dessert replacement to a certain extent. It's like bananas. It's rice milk. I don't really drink much dairy anymore, or any dairy for the most part. But rice milk, bananas, almond butter.
Okay.
Blueberry, raspberry, blackberries, and maybe some pea protein. But then it's like a sweet thing, and I love it.
It's like a treat. Yeah.
Yeah. So like if you're having like a desire to have like ice cream, which I love ice cream. So if I have like, I can eat a whole gallon of ice cream. But if you're having like that, I can't think of the word for it, but the desire.
Sweet tooth.
Yeah, if you're having something like that, it's like there's a healthy go-to. So my go-to is like this shake. Have it like 3 times a week around, but it fills me up and it like helps satisfy that desire of like something like a snack.
Yeah.
Do you have anything like that?
Yeah, and you know it's funny. Austin actually created like a concoction. It was gluten-free oats, almond butter, and sliced up strawberries and maybe some blueberries. He literally just mixed it in a bowl one day and just like threw it in the fridge. And the next day, it was such a good snack. It really was. And he also used to make literally put the almond butter, the strawberries in a tortilla, but not just like a corn or a regular tortilla. There's a specific brand that we buy in the house. It's called Siete. They have it at Whole Foods, and it's like super, super good ingredients. It's actually the brand is from a Mexican family that had health issues. So they created a brand that is super like the tortillas that we get are chickpea based, is one of them. And the other one is almond flour based. So very, very clean ingredients. If you're interested and if you love Mexican food, I mean, we love Mexican food here. So it's definitely a good option. And you know, we'll even do like tacos, throw chicken in there. They have chips too, which I love chips. I'm such a chip person. So that's the brand that I have chips. They even fry it in avocado oil, which is good. Frying's not good, but I'd rather avocado oil than corn oil. Obviously, we both would rather that.
Yeah. I stopped eating tortillas because it just gave me heartburn. But I didn't. Even the whole wheat ones weren't great for some reason. But I never tried the chickpea or almond. That's interesting.
Highly recommend. They just started making hard shells too. I love like hard shells. They have them in a box, and they're absolutely delicious.
Was it tough when I say switching, like any company that you work for, if you say, okay, we got a whole new process, people just like are resistant to change. Like at first, did you feel like this resistance at all of like, I got to change everything I eat? I got to have a whole new, like you get into a rhythm at the supermarket and you don't even have to think anymore. It's like, oh, I know I'm going here. Now you're saying, okay, you have to change it all up. You got to rethink about it. Is that hard to do?
Yeah, I was considering, I'm like, I don't know if I want to see this nutritionist. Maybe I'm just going to stay on these pills and live as is. I thought about it. I literally thought about it. I'm like, this shit seems hard. But now I am like what you were just saying. I walk through the supermarket and we literally are in and out in 15 minutes, but we're grabbing our healthy products now. It's just like a lifestyle change now. You know what I mean? But there was definitely a time where I was considering like, all right, I'm going to take the cheap way out, but it's not worth it. It really isn't.
Yeah. So for someone who is out there thinking, I can't do it, it's too hard. It takes about a week. And then after the week, you're in your own new habit of cooking and stuff. When did you learn how to cook? I guess, because sometimes people don't know how to cook. I am the person that, yes, I was this person. I didn't know how to cook. And so there was a cooking book that I read. But it also was like the basics of cooking, but it looked like a cookbook. So half of it, the first half was like just the basics of how to cook. And then the next half was literally ingredients, like cooking prep and the ingredients you need for every meal. And it was meal by meal by meal. Psycho me, I read the whole thing. So I read meal by meal by meal. People must be like, I did this on the subway. People probably like, what the hell is wrong with this person?
You're hysterical. You used to go into the subway reading this?
Yeah. Meal by meal. So funny that I did that. But this is easier when you know how to cook. When you don't know how to cook, it's a little tougher. So for me, I'm a basic cook. So, but it's still easy. So like, okay, I need to make my own meal. I know, throw the onions in there. It's some olive oil, do some of my cooking. But if you've never done it before and you've relied on prepackaged food, fast food, your siblings cooking for you, it's a little tougher. Where did you learn how to cook?
So just to start, I was definitely one to hate the kitchen. I was always very intimidated. I'm like, yo, cooking sucks. It's funny because before I changed my diet, we started doing HelloFresh.
Okay.
So we were getting all the ingredients sent to the house. And I'm like, wow, cooking is actually not that hard because they just break it out so well. And I love the fact that it's like, all right, if I get overwhelmed, I used to get overwhelmed. If I saw like 10 ingredients, I'm like, that's not happening. Not gonna happen. It's just not
Same
happening. I'm like, no. I need 5 ingredients. I need it to be done in 20 minutes. And you know, the card, it gives you all the details. And then we were like, all right, we're going to stop doing HelloFresh. We're just going to buy the ingredients at the supermarket and follow the cards. I'm like, this is not as hard as I thought. So I would say the HelloFresh, the purchasing of that, it was in my advantage before I changed my diet. I mean, we don't even follow that at all. Like, I don't ever do like a HelloFresh meal, but I don't know. You just start getting a little savvy. I'm a very basic cook too. Like,
Got it.
I keep it simple.
So HelloFresh also helped you learn yourself how to cook.
Yeah, it was something that I did before the diet change. And I was like, all right, like I gained more confidence in the kitchen, you know?
Got it. Interesting. Yeah. Do you feel like your new diet gives you more energy when you're doing kickboxing?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
Good.
like because if I were to like there was times where I would just like have leftover pizza from the night before. I'm like, all right, I need to put something in my stomach because I'm someone that needs something in my stomach in order to work out. I'm like, I'm gonna gobble this up and then I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm work out. Yeah, I felt like when I did that, I was 10 times more sluggish. When I would eat clean, I would feel better. I would feel lighter. I'd feel healthier. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's also like if you eat a lot of sugary products and or like white bread. Which is
oh my God, I haven't had white bread and actually that's a lie. I had gluten-free white bread. But I haven't had like a slice, like a Wonder freaking slice of bread in years.
Yeah. Well, maybe I had once, but for the most part, I try to stick with like multigrain or whole wheat.
Oh, I have a brand for you. It's called Unbagel. They have a super clean bread that has like apple cider vinegar. It's not multigrain. It's just gluten free. It's soy free. It has apple cider vinegar in it. I gotta take a look at the ingredients, but it's very, very clean and it gives me no issues. If you're trying to, have a variety of different brands, all the stuff I get at like Whole Foods.
Yeah. Because if you have a lot of crappy white bread, you're
hell no.
High energy, but then you just die. I don't know exactly the science behind it, but your insulin spikes, right? And then to make up for the sugar crash, if I'm not mistaken, and then you have low energy and it's unstable. It's like boom, 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 and that causes you to eat more like crap because you need that more sugar to stay the high.
The sugar, yeah.
Yeah, and then like when you eat healthy, clean foods, it's like no, you're more stable.
You're stable.
So, yeah. So myself don't really work out that much anymore. But I have to.
Chris, come on.
I know, right? I'm preaching all this stuff and I'm not even like doing a 5-minute exercise. I have to do that again.
Yeah, even YouTube, honestly, there's this girl when I just don't feel like getting in the car to go to the gym. I follow this girl, Caroline Gerbon. She has quick workouts, like 30 minutes, and she kicks your ass. All you need is like dumbbells. And she really does a good job.
She does it on what platform is that? YouTube. Got it.
Yeah. I'd follow her. Even do it with Amanda. It could be fun.
Do you you probably don't. Do you have a total gym at your house?
No.
That's a machine I use a lot. It's like
you have it in the house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like this sliding platform that goes up and down, and you can adjust the angle of it.
Bench press and all that?
You could do bench press, but it's like you have 2 handles and you can do all sorts of you can do any muscle. Ever seen the Chuck Norris commercial when he's on like a total gym and he's doing his workouts? No. I got to get back using it, but it's a very good machine to get into shape. I just haven't used it in the last few months.
Yeah. And listen, even when I'm not like because working out obviously requires effort and if you're following a video, I guess it doesn't require a lot of thought, but it's just like extra energy. Austin and I'm like, Austin, let's just get out and go for a walk. I mean, those are things that we do pretty often, just to go outside and get like vitamin D,
Yeah.
and it's good. Maybe you, Amanda, could bring the baby for a walk.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Little
always
Margot.
good.
Get
Yeah.
Margot walking. She's got to start walking soon.
Oh my gosh, when will she? No, she's got some time.
Well, she's like crazily, uncannily strong. Like her neck is like always like she never had a problem with her neck. It's like always just like even like when she was little, we like could hold her up and she wouldn't like bobble her head that much. She's got
a grip.
I shouldn't say almost, but she's almost crawling. Like she's not almost crawling, but I see it coming soon. And so she's 4 months. In the next month, I could see her crawl. She's strong. I can see it happening. Yeah.
Oh, she's freaking adorable.
Have you seen her outside of the party we saw her at Cart? No.
No, that was my first time meeting her.
Nice. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very interesting. All right. Well, Lehdis, it is getting close to 7 p.m. I think Austin is going to kick my ass if I hold you any longer here. Is there anything, if someone were listening, that you would want to tell them about anything that you'd want to tell them to help change their life with something that seems extremely difficult? Oh my God, I got to change everything I'm doing. I got to learn how to cook. But it's not that hard. And then the payoff of doing it, like, is there anything that you personally would tell someone who's like dealing with these problems that you'd give advice to?
Yes, I would say the bigger picture is worth it, especially if you are one that is in pain and has digestive issues, for sure. I mean, it just sucks. It's not, a way to live. The diet is worth it 100%. Taking care of your body is worth it. And like what you were saying, in the long run, I mean, if you are nourishing your body with the right foods, you will essentially live longer. You'll be in less pain. You don't have to rely on, medications every day just to function. It's no way to live. You got to think about the quality of life. And, I certainly don't want to live that way. So I would say, if you're in pain, take the step forward to treating your body right, so that you won't feel pain anymore and you can live a longer life.
I love it. I'm going to ask you for maybe, if you want to, the link to the dietitian that you saw, so I can, if anyone wants to try that themselves, I can add that in there, and then they can go try that spiritual experience themselves.
100%. I will send you the link.
All right. I appreciate it, Lehdis. Thanks for coming on. And have a good rest of your night.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
All right. Bye.